Hello everyone, P.U.N.K here. Hopefully you're all having a wonderful day wherever it is that you are watching this video. Today, I'm going to be showcasing to you some test hands regarding Gold Pride P.U.N.K post Cyberstorm Access. This particular video will use the deck list that I did post the previous week. I'm showing a picture right now, though if you would like to see that deck profile, please check the description below. Remember to like and subscribe, it does help the channel grow. Otherwise, I will get on with the video. Alright, so let's work our way through test hand 1. Remember that these hands will be drawn on the spot, so if I make an incorrect play or I take a little bit long to think about certain things, please excuse me. You can always let me know in the comments down below any suggestions you have. So, for our first test hand, we're going to draw one Captain Carry, one E-Telly, one Shirakusai, one Madam Spider, and one Foxy Toon. This is an amazing hand. You got plenty of options to go into your usual combo, and then you also can play around hand traps if need be. In this case, I think what I would lead off with is I would probably just lead off with the Shirakusai and then go into Foxy Toon. I don't see any reason to use the Foxy Toon or the E-Telly. The reason why I don't want to use Foxy Toon is because there's nothing I really want to discard quite now. I guess you could discard the Madam Spider, don't need to though. I know you want to potentially deck thin, but I don't feel like I need to here. I'm just going to lead off with the Shirakusai. This could bait out an Imperm or Gamma. If that does happen, you can always just go straight into Foxy Toon or the E-Telly. That would be perfect, because then you can go Zayamin, and then you can summon Deer Note, go down that line, summon the carry, go through your Gold Pride P.U.N.K plays. That is expected. In this case, we're going to assume the Shirakusai goes off. We fuse these two into a copy of Rising Carp, EMZ or main deck Monster Zone, doesn't matter. We activate the Rising Carp here. If they Ash it, they Gamma it, life happens, you can move on and go with the E-Telly into Zayamin, into Foxy Toon. That's part of the reason why I didn't use the Foxy Toon quite yet, because if our Rising Carp played into any hand traps, you wanted the Foxy Toon to still be live. In this case, we're going to still assume that they didn't hand trap us there. So we go Zayamin, we summon out wherever she is, Deer Note. Oh, sorry, my bad. I mean, you could summon the Zayamin if you wanted to, because we have, what is it? We do technically have E-Telly to summon at Wagon, but I'm going to just go directly into Wagon here. We're going to save the E-Telly if possible. Wagon's going to grab us a copy of Extreme Session. If you get Nibiru'd here, that is also fine. You can just go Deer Note, recur, let's say level 3 body, go into your Gold Pride cards, or you can summon back like level 8 monster, E-Telly out, and go into like Amazing Dragon or something. There's a lot of different things you can do here. But again, assumption that no hand traps have been activated yet. We're going to go these two into our copy of Dragon Drive. We're going to go Chainlink 2 Dragon Drive, Chainlink 1 Deer Note. This is a play around a potential Skullmeister or Bell. You never know how prepared you can be. And we don't really need the Dragon Drive search here since we have the E-Telly or Madam Spider. It's just nice to have go off if we can. So Deer Note, Chainlink 1, Dragon Drive, Chainlink 2. If this resolves, we would go Dragon Drive, search a copy of Ghost Ogre, since we already have basically all the P.U.N.K names we would need. And this is perfect because Ghost Ogre will be a nice disruption for our opponent's turn. Deer Note will summon back. In this case, I'm going to elect to summon back a Rising Carp. I don't feel like we need to go into the we don't need to go into the Amazing Dragon play here. I feel like a Harbinger might be better this format. Also, even if they ogre the Extreme Session and prevent us from summoning the level 3 body from hand, we do have the E-Telly to summon it from deck. So in this case, summon back the level 8 body, Extreme Session activates. Again, I'm just going to repeat this even though I literally just said it. If this gets Ghost Ogred, perfectly fine, you can still make your Harbinger. You can then E-Tele out a level 3 body, go with Captain Carry and the Chariot Carry. So, in the case that we don't get Ogred, we're going to draw a card. Let's hope it's a hand trap. This kind of sucks. Or if you saw my deck profile, we're only playing one copy of it, so you don't get the extra plus off of Captain Carry, but it isn't the end of the world, you know, life happens. We're going to go these two into our Harbinger. If you're playing Photon Lord, you can go into Photon Lord. I'm not too scared of Nibiru, as I had mentioned in my deck profile, so I'm playing Harbinger instead. And I feel like this is going to be better into Purely and into Super Heavy Samurai in the long run. So from here, we can go the Extreme Sessions, summon the Madam Spider from hand. We're going to banish from grave, probably banish the Foxy Tune here. I don't think we need too many level 8 bodies in graveyard right now. Banish that, summon the Madam Spider from hand. Madam Spider pays another 600, searches our Dangerous Gabu. The field spell will activate, again to draw another card. We draw into Zayman. Don't quite need more Punk names now, but having more follow-up is nice. You'll notice that I haven't been talking too much about hand traps because really at this point, if they haven't hand trapped you to some degree, they probably don't have anything, right? Like they would have impermed the Rising Carp, Veiler the Rising Carp, probably Nibiru'd you by the time you made the Dragon Drive, Ghost Ogre the field spell, they would have ashed like Foxy Tune or Rising Carp, so I'm gonna say we're in the safe zone now. So since we're in the safe zone, summon Captain Carry, don't get to use its effect because unfortunately we drew the Start Your Engines. Go these two into your copy of Chariot Carry. Attack and defense, I guess to be safe we should put in defense, because if for some reason they haven't Veilered you or Impermed you, or maybe they have another Imperm or Veiler, you don't want this in attack, otherwise you might lose it too easily. But summon it, use Chariot Carry's effect. We're going to grab ourselves a copy of Better Luck Next Time, and since we are at lower life points, we can dump a Gold Pride name. In this case, I'm going to dump the Rollerballer. I'm going to pretend we're not afraid of Evenly and that the Cashier matchup isn't too relevant, so we don't need the Natural Head. Then we're going to activate Better Luck Next Time, search our copy of Star Leon, use Star Leon's effect to summon itself, use its effect on field, summon back Rollerballer. We're then going to set our copies of all of these, really. You know, we can set E-Tele, Dangerous Gabu, and Start Your Engines. And then during the end phase, Chariot Carry would activate, put itself back in the extra deck. And then we can summon a Chariot Carry from either the main deck or the graveyard. I haven't decided quite yet in my games whether summoning it from graveyard or main deck matters all that much. I'd probably like to do it from main deck since that does deck thin for your Better Luck Next Time draw that does happen here. Retain more Gold Pride names in deck for the Start Your Engines. You can just summon it from grave. So, Better Luck Next Time will trigger here. We draw ourselves another card, and we draw ourselves a Droll, which makes this hand so much better, because now not only do you have Harbinger, not only do you have Leon that can go into Star Leon, Rollerballer that can go into Pinballer, your 2 traps, Ghost Ogre, but then you have a Droll that basically invalidates the majority of the format. And so this first test hand should show you the capabilities of Gold Pride if unhindered. The fact that you can draw so many cards going first, set up an amazing end board, and all this in tandem is usually enough to stop your opponent's plays. I did mention that if you do get hand trapped, your end board might be a little bit weaker. For example, if instead, let's say the Rising Carp play didn't fall through, we could even go back on that. Like if your line there didn't fall through, you would have a much different end board, but that's okay, right? So let's go back to that just so I can briefly throw that at you. Since you're probably aware of like this combo already, I was just showcasing you the best option, but you've probably watched the combo video already. You probably already understand. So let's say that we go back to our start of these 5 cards. All of these cards are back in the main deck and or the extra deck. Sorry, give me a second. hypothetical situation. If Shirakusai gets Gammaed, you go E-Tally into Xayman, grab, say, Ogre Dance or Deer Note. Foxy Tune can go into the Deer Note, and then you can go from there. If the Foxy Tune gets negated on top of the Shirakusai, you can go into your Gold Pride plays by summoning Carry, grabbing the Trap card. The continuous spell would then draw a card after, you know, you resolve that full combo. Like, you would still basically have Chariot Carry, Pinballer, or Rollerballer, and Star Leon in the case that you elected to make Chariot Carry it immediately if you can't go down this line. Yeah. I'm just rambling at this point. Let's get on with test hand number 2. Alright, so for test hand number 2, let's repeat this. Oops, sorry. Let's repeat this and try to explain more about how to play around hand traps. Because the first one I did briefly mention it, but I don't think I was able to stress the lines in their entirety. So with this hand, we have 2 Gamma, 1 Foxy Tune, 1 Extreme Session, 1 Better Luck Next Time. Interesting hand, but definitely playable. So again, the things you want to mind this format are Droll, Gamma, and Ghost Ogre. So to play around Droll as best as possible, I think what we're going to do is activate the Better Luck Next Time first. The reason why is because after you resolve its search, in this case to search, then we're going to search the Leon here. In the case that they choose to hand trap you here, what you can then just do is Gamma the Droll, and then you're no longer under you're no longer under Droll, and then you can go into a Dragite or a Dragon Drive to, you know, do your plays. If they do not, then, like, if they're being smart and they're trying to play around Gamma, then you can't do much about that. So from here, activate Foxy Tune, discard it, discard the Gamma. If they don't have a Droll for the Better Luck Next Time or down the line, you can Gamma the Gamma they might have for the Foxy Tune or the Ash. That's all you can really do there. So yeah. And of course, if they choose to Ash the Foxy Tune, you Gamma them, but then they Gamma you back, you can't do anything about that either. So here we're going to assume we resolve, summon out the Xayman. Xayman can then search a copy of Shirakusai. We're doing this at this point because if they're smart and they're playing around Gamma when you Better Luck Next Time, searching the Shirakusai directly still plays around Droll, since if you go for Ogre Dance to deck, then you play into Droll since you can't discard the Ogre Dance after you search it. So we go into the Shirakusai, normal the Shirakusai, use Shirakusai's effect, go these 2 into a copy of Rising Carp. Rising Carp can then activate to grab ourselves a copy of, tutor itself out to grab Mountain Spider and Deer Note. I'm still feeling safe at this point, again, because if they decide to hold the Gamma or Ash for Rising Carp instead of the Foxy Tune, you still have Gamma there. You summon these 2 bodies out, you can activate the Extreme Session now, use Madam Spider, grab your Dangerous Gabu, wherever it is, and then Extreme Session would activate to draw 1, because we only have 2 more triggers here, we can't trigger the Wagon. Draw into another Foxy Tune, not really important here, but it's nice to have. Go these 2 into a copy of Dragon Drive. We'll do Dragon Drive Chainlink 1, or Dragon Drive Chainlink 2, Deer Note Chainlink 1 to play around a potential Bell or Meister. So the Dragon Drive, in this case, I'm going to search at level 3 just to be safe. We want to be able to play around the potential, we want to be able to make Chariot Carry without having to commit the Leon. The reason why I searched the Leon early is because it's nice. Basically, since I'm not playing the Reborn spell in this deck, you can't trigger the second effect unless you were to summon it from the hand. Since at this point, with only Better Luck Next Time in the main, going into Chariot Carry doesn't do much, since you can search another Better Luck Next Time, but you can't activate it, obviously, since it's the hard one's per turn. So by guaranteeing us the ability to go into Chariot Carry via the P.U.N.K engine alone. We can then maintain a Leon in hand to do our Gold Pride plays as best as possible. So Deer Note here will summon back Shirakusai. The field spell will then draw another card. We draw a card, we get Imperm, great card to have. So here we're going to use the field spell to summon the Xaymin. We're going to banish, in this case, Foxy Tune, since we already have one in hand. We already used Xaymin, so we're going to overlay these two into Chariot Carry. Use Chariot Carry's effect. Search a copy of Better Luck Next Time, which we can't activate, but it's still nice to have. And then dump a copy, in this case. You have the choice of dumping either Rollerballer or Captain Carry. You can dump Captain Carry if you feel like the trap card is more important, and it could be since you could summon the Rollerballer. I'm just going to search the Rollerballer directly because I kind of like having it there. So you dump the Rollerballer. You can then activate the effect of Gold Pride Leon, summon it from hand since we're at less life points, summon back the Rollerballer, and then from here, you can set your copy of Infinite Impermanence and Dangerous Gabu, have Foxy Tune and Better Luck Next Time for follow-up. The Chariot Carry will tag out during the end phase into a copy of Captain Carry, which will then search you a copy of Gold Pride Start Your Engines, and then the Continue spell will draw one card, which is Droll. Kind of funny that we've drawn Droll twice off of the Better Luck Next Time. Purely coincidence, I promise. But yeah, again, just speaking to the strength of this deck, being able to consistently put out this deck, or this end board, through some hand traps. Gamma does help you play around those. Yeah, I don't think I need to say too much else there. The only other thing I want to mention with this hand, or this board, is if you wanted to make the Gamma live, you could have just chosen to link off the Chariot Carry and the Dragon Drive into a copy of Lambda if you really, really wanted to. Not necessary, and it does void you of that additional draw that would have drawn you into the draw, but you wouldn't have known that, so there is that. Yeah, this is test hand 2, and I'm going to quickly breeze through test hand number 3. And here we are at test hand number 3, the final test hand of the day. And fortunately at that, because my voice is getting a little bit tired from recording, we have drawn ourselves another potentially busted hand. So, 2 Captain Carry, a bit redundant, but it's nice to have at least one. Emergency Teleport, Xaymin, and Ogre Dance. So again, we're going to normal summon the Xaymin, kind of like our first test hand. You want to commit your normal summons and or anything that, like, basically you don't want to commit your extenders quite yet because you want to pretend like you don't have them so that you can bait out any hand traps. So normal Xaymin here. I think this is probably the best way to play around potential Droll. This hand doesn't play around Droll at all really, as you can see, so kind of have to move on beyond that. But to play around Gamma or Ogre, you can summon Xaymin, use its effect, search out Foxy Tune. If they Droll you, they Droll you. There's not much else you can do with this hand, I believe. I mean, you can summon Captain Carry, you can go into Star Leon, you can then E-Telly out the Ghost Ogre as a disruption, but you're kind of stuck there. If they choose to Gamma this, you can just E-Telly out into Shirakusai and go down the Rising Carp line. If they choose to Imperm, you can still go down the Shirakusai line. Yeah, that's about it. I don't think you can technically go for the... I guess a safer way, actually. Let's do this slightly differently rather than going for the Rising Carp line. So, what you could do also, like let's say this thing gets hit. I'm going to pretend it does get hit. You can E-Telly out the Wagon, like assuming we don't get Droll 2. Wagon can then grab the field spell, wherever that is. You can activate that. You can activate the Ogre Dance. You can discard it to search Deer Note. This is a slightly unorthodox line, but it's still possible. You can then summon the Captain Carry since we already have less life points than our opponent. Search our Start Your Engines. And then you can overlay the Xaymin and the Captain Carry. into Chariot Carry. I'm not using the Wagon because the non-targeting or the effect to draw if your opponent targets a monster or target your P.U.N.K monsters for attacks or effects, that can come up if you go for certain lines with your P.U.N.K name still here. So we're going to go for Chariot Carry. We're going to detach the Xaymin, search a copy of Better Luck Next Time, and then dump the Roller Baller. You can dump Nitro Head if you want. I'm still going to dump the Roller Baller because I feel like it's more valuable and I'm not too scared of Evenly or Casteria, as I had mentioned during my testing number 1. Here, we now have P.U.N.K names in Graveyard. We can banish the Ogre Dance to summon Deer Note. I guess you could have actually done this prior to this, but I'm going to do it like this. Because this doesn't lock you into Gold Prides yet. It's only Leon that does that. You can link those or synchro those two off into Dragon Drive. Dragon Drive can summon back. Oh, in this case, sorry, I actually do want to banish the Xaymin, and that's because we want the level 8 body in Ogre Dance to summon itself back as Chainlink 1 on Deer Note. Again, trying to play around Meister or Bell. Dragon Drive will search us. I think in this case, we'll search a Ghost Ogre just to have the extra disruptions. Since we already use a field spell, we can't really use it for anything else. Then the field spell is going to draw us 1 card. Xaymin, nice to have for follow-up. Go these 2 into Harbinger. Then we can activate the Better Luck Next Time, which we should have activated prior to activating Extreme Session. You get the point though. Grab the Leon, use Leon, summon itself, summon back the Roller Baller, set your copy of Start Your Engines. You have Ghost Ogre in hand. The Chariot Carry will send itself back to the extra deck. To summon the Chariot Carry from Grave, I'm going to do that because we don't have that many P.U.N.K name or Gold Pride names in extra deck or in main deck. I believe we only have 3 left now. It's 1 Leon, 1 Carry, and 1 Nitro Head, so we can't summon from deck or else we'd make this dead. But regardless, draw 1 card off of Better Luck. Sorry, it's actually so funny we're drawing the troll off of the Better Luck Next Time 3 times in a row. But yeah, draw 1 card off the continuous spell. If you're good, you draw like I have these past 3 games. And then you have a nice end board here. Again, this hand doesn't play around Droll very well. It can play around Ogre and Gamma. As I had mentioned, you had the E-Telly to E-Telly out your bodies. Depending on where they Gamma you. Of course, if they Gamma you late in the combo, not much you can do about that. But they can't Gamma both sides of the combo. What I mean by that is most likely you would have access to either Chariot Carry or the Gold Pride engine. So you would have one or the other if they only had Gamma or Ogre. Okay, so this is my quick test hand video, or not quick since it is over 20 minutes, but you know, a tutorial on how you can play Gold Pride in real time with hands that you draw. Again, whole purpose is to showcase to you how you can play the deck beyond just those perfect idealized combos that I had in my combo video. I do hope you appreciated the video. If you have any comments, remember to let me down below. Any suggestions that you had for me, and or anything that you might have caught through the video that I might not have caught. For example, things in the hands that could have been done differently that I didn't see that might play around hand traps better or might yield better end boards. Remember to like and subscribe. I do appreciate it as it does help the channel grow. And otherwise, this is Toon World signing out. I will cue the outro.